What's up, YouTube's WK Dad? Gonna be playing subscriber CloudJ7. Start off by letting him know that I'm recording for YouTube, and he goes, "Sweet, the pressure." I get a pretty good chuckle out of that. I don't know what he's playing yet, but we open pretty good. This is my new favorite deck. It's Ghostrick Monarchs. I think about setting a Book of Moon for a second, but I'm like, if he goes, Yugioh, MST, Teus Marksman, I'm screwed. But he just sets a monster, so I'm like, well, what is he playing? Decide to flip the Jiangxi, get some free cards. He lets it pass. I search a Spectre. I still don't know what he's playing. Summon the Tour Guide. Activate effect. He goes Chain Max C. So on that, I put him on Monarchs or maybe Chaos Dragons or something, simply because who's maining Max C. But I decided to go for it anyway because I'm up on cards. I give him the +1. He controls 8 cards. I control 8 cards now after making alley card. But I pop his face down, so I'm like, I'm up a card. And so I'm like, okay, so now I have to worry about Caius. So MST in the standby, a book, and I did that because I didn't want enemy controller, a frog and drop lad or some shit like that, and I'd be screwed. So I find out he's playing Piper, so I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be interesting. We're both playing some passive ass decks. Get my Jiangxi again, free cards. Go get him married just in case things don't work out or he drops chaos on my field. And here's where I make a mistake. I should have tributed my Alu card, instead of Jiangxi. That way I can get value out of my Call the Haunted. But I'm like, well, I gotta put pressure in. He has a weak hand. I have to stop him before he starts getting his chaos monsters online. Because when he dropped that Jack Frost, I immediately started thinking, okay, Chaos Sorcerers, BLS, and he just sets monsters. So I'm just like, okay, well, he's going pretty slow. So pop his face down again. It's another frog. I'm like, frack. Go in again. Got him low. So now I go for Downard. I'm out of materials, and if he sets again, I can pierce, and I'm forced to set my call now, and I'm just like, crap. I hate not getting value out of my cards. I like being able to get value out of all my cards, but I didn't want to set the Dark Hole. I didn't want to set any of the monsters in my hand. So now he creature swaps me. I'm like, okay, what is he gonna do? Drop Caius anyway. And I thought about giving him the Downard, but I'm like, you know what? If he has an MST, I burn a card from his hand. I'll just give him the Tour Guide if he doesn't. And what's he gonna do from here? Drop Caius anyway. He's gonna have the Caius my Caius, then hit the Treeborn. And then I can go for there, but he scoops it up. He didn't. They Call the Haunted wrecked him. And I go crazy. I go, what? Scoop phase? He goes, dude, I had poop in my hand. Bummer. So I'm thinking, okay, creature swap is good because we're both playing passive decks. If he drops a boss chaos monster, then I'm gonna drop it. I can take it and try to protect it best I could. Dust tornadoes weren't getting me any value, so they came out immediately. I didn't feel like Maxi and Effect Baylor could come in because I wanted aggression. I felt that my deck could put more aggression on the board than his. And right now I'm just looking at my hand. I'm like, it's kind of slow. I'll set the MST. Hopefully he'll burn an MST. I'm more aggressive. I want to get cards out of his hand. But he sets MST, and like an idiot, I set my Book of Moon like at the next turn, And when I just should have just set the Mary. See here, I set the Book of Moon, and I screw myself. I should have just set the Mary. When Mary dies, then I have Spectre to draw a card, and then I contribute for Caius. But it is what it is. So he goes 1 for 1, and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna try to draw for Piper. Piper comes out. I'm gonna get Book of Moon, Piper, and at least get some value out of. But I'm like, okay, crap. He gets Jack Frost, and here I'm like, I'm gonna book the Dullahan, or I'm gonna book so he can't go into Dullahan, but I'll let it go anyway. And I MST that thinking warning or something, or something that's like, oh no. So now I don't have a monster to tribute, but I have the creature swap in hand, so I'm feeling kind of decent. Dullahan only has 0 defense. Kill it, and he gets Jack Frost. And I'm just like, ugh. I really should have just, went for the Mary play. Took the 1200. Flipped the Jing Shao. And then Caius's card. So now, he's back up on cards. So now I'll go for Caius again. Get his Veiler. And then right here, I put him on a Chaos monster. So, okay, he's holding a Chaos monster, and he needed that Veiler. But now, since he set one, he's in rough shape. So I swing. He drops Tragodia, and I'm thinking Jack Frost maybe. Nope, it's Tragodia. So I'm like, frack. I considered using my creature swap here, but I'm like, what's the point? I have Mary and Spectre, and I was right. I made the right call. He had a Chaos Sorcerer, so I felt good about that. But I'm gonna get another card off of Jiangxi. He decides not to run over Jiangxi, and he goes in Launcher, pop, draw a card. Set, draw again, Jiangxi, pop. Just cycle my deck. I knew he was going to pop both, but I wanted to cycle my deck. Check my grave. I'm in good shape. Drop the Dark Creator. Bloop. Uses effect. And here when he goes, I seen that he had DD Crow, so I wanted to kind of like not get my best card, Jiangxi, but and then he had the Veiler anyway. So I was like, so why did he set the Veiler? I think he had too many cards in here, and I think that's why he set it, in retrospect. And again, set the Call of Hunter like a dummy. So I decided to use Dark Creator's effect again. Banish the Caius for Jiangxi. Some of the other Jiangxi. And I go into Alucard. Pop his back row. His book. So I'm like, okay. Creature swap. Switch it over. Takes a little bit of damage. I'll get my Ghostrick back to my hand. Foolish Burial. I'm like, what is he doing? He's setting up a play. I remember he still has Jack Frost in hand. So I'm going to try to bait it out. I hit a lure for the turn. Draw some cards. Banish Spectre. Banish Mother Caius for Jiangxi. See, I really don't have a use. I don't know why I banished my Caius so much. I don't have any other uses for him other than a beater. And I think I might have to start doing that because I do that a lot. Here I should have baited the Jack Frost with the Gaia Charger. And this is where it goes downhill from me. Where it goes down freaking hill. Gets the Kinkaboo, and he makes that level three. I'm thinking, ooh, Gold Rat. When he overlays three, the Gold Rat gonna draw some cards, not remembering that whatever that stupid card's name is exists. Lionheart, number 54. And I must have read that thing like 10 times and I still misplayed into it. And he just punishes me. I get punished. So I'm like, okay, can I game him this turn? And I check my graveyard, check my extra deck. Oh man, looking at this now, it's funny to me, but at the time it wasn't so funny. I'm just so mad. I'm just like, how did I lose this? I'm looking at my creature swap. I said, man, this would have been so perfect if I would have said that there was no reason to swap that. Because, you know, now I have absolutely no out to Lionheart. I'll go into Tempo, plucking material. And I'm just thinking right here, you know, I'm just like making these plays really fast. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to do some good Yu-Gi-Ohs here. You know, I even messaged in the chat box. I go, ooh, plot twist, thinking that I had like some hot shit up my sleeve, and I'm just like, reading fail. That is such a good card. I have got to work that into my build, Lionheart. But that's going to require me to run like a single Kinkaboo, because that thing is like a win condition in of itself. Can't die by battle in attack mode, and he has those 3 materials, and you can just punish your opponent, you know, over a couple turns. So I attack him, thinking, okay, I got him. I call Han during the battle phase, and he's like, you also take the damage. I'm like, oh shit. And I even reply, ooh, misread fail. So like, let's go ahead and pop a material off of him now. And from here, I should have overlaid. Can't remember what I do here. And he goes, "Law poop, what a twist." Just kidding. And I let him know. I thought he had a detaching material to do that battle phase shenanigans. So like, looking at my life points, I'm like, I don't have a way to get around that dude. So it drops me to 200. And detach the material to ram that back to me. And then he goes OP Dullahan. Dullahan here kills me either way. So even detach me, he just changes the effect, cuts my dude's attack in half, and I just lose. I mean, I was severely outplayed that game. I made some questionable plays. So now I'm like, okay, screw this. I throw in the 3rd Mind Crush. Well, I try several times. At this point, the screen capture software that I'm using is bugging out, because it's already been recording like 40 minutes and my processor started dragging, and I'm just like, oh man. But yeah, I attempt over and over again to swap cards, and it's just like annoying. So as I'm waiting for this, just let you guys know that I let people know, my friends know, my Facebook friends know that I'm going to be doing some deck doctoring. So if you got some decks you want me to fix, be my friend on Facebook. Message me your deck list. Let me know what you think the problem is, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here he goes Piper, and I almost wish I set the Divine Wrath, but I'm like, I have 3 Mind Crush. I don't care what he gets off of Piper, you know. So, you know, I say the Divine Wrath. I'm trying to say the Divine Wrath for that fucking number 54. And he gets 2 Veilers. I'm like, oh my god, if I top deck Mind Crush here and fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! I top deck the Mind Crush. And right here, I'm blind MSTing because I want to set the Mind Crush. And I don't want to hit it. And to my surprise, neither one of those cards were the MST. And I'm like, oh my god, the card he set is the MST. So I get some duality. I'm like, ooh, good cards. And here's where I make another fail play. I don't know if you can see the time on here. But see, I normal summon Jiangshi like an idiot. You can't normal summon these stupid things. It even says cannot be normal summoned. So he and I both fail here. And I'm getting all excited. I'm like, all right, battle phase. Now you can't pitch the Veilers. And I know the watcher chat is like going bananas. I'm like, well, I'm still gonna get them damn Veilers out your hand. So his hand size just goes bloop bloop bloop. Say free information for both of us. So now he's gonna go ahead and search the card he's gonna get anyway. No, I think he gets Dark Dust Spirit here. Yeah, he gets Dark Dust Spirit. So I'm like, okay, I have to play around this. I'm like, hey, you didn't show me your hand for Veiler. And he's like, because I had all 3 in hand. I'm like, damn. Damn, dog. So he makes a cutesy little play. He gets the 1-for-1 again. That card wrecked. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I got Divine Wrath, because 1-for-1 led to him destroying me. And I'm about to run that card. I got to figure out what to drop. So he makes a play where he attacks so he can drop Trag. Takes a little bit of damage. He runs over. I considered Book of Mooning. My Jane can get another card, but I'm like, that's a waste. That is a severe waste. So I'm like, do I drop Spectre here? No. I'm going to get some Yu-Gi-Ohs. So I'll take a little shitty 400. Because both of his spirits are going to pop back to his hand. And that Tragody is going to be fucking huge. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to build my hand back up to deal with this big-ass Trag. So I see value here. I'm like, check his grave to see what his dark count is. They're all lights. So I'm like, we'll just get some searches. We're going to play this slow. I have Book of Moon and Divine Wrath. So I should be in good shape. I get another Mary in case things go wrong. I already have the Spectre. I get Crane Crane. And again, he's going to have the freaking Max C. And this is how I lost last time. I just played in the Max C. Well, no, game 1, I didn't lose in game 1. But, you know, it's the same reasoning. I'm like, okay, so he goes +1 off the Max C. But I don't want to... Freaking Skill Prisoners. You know, I have to take away cards from him because I'm going to get cards back when he kills Alucard, when he attacks Jiangshi. So, you know, we're going to be the same. But I go defense because I didn't want to lose out to that damn Lionheart again. And by this time I figured out that he's not running Caius, you know, Monarchs. But I'm ready for his ass this time. He's gonna drop that damn Lionheart and start pooping on me. Excuse me. But But yeah, it's late. Um, I think this duel was like 11 p.m. Long day working, deal with this shit. So like, okay, I got the Alpha. He brought out the big gun early. I think he got a little greedy here. So take the little funky little 17. I mean, it's to him. Why not get the free damage in? And he kills Jiangxi. So I'm like, okay, I need to get a Caius. I gotta bait that stupid skill prisoner. And I get the Caius. I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm considering my options. I'm like, will he use the skill prisoner on that, or will he try to save skill? I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to just keep the skill prisoner to protect Lionheart. So I'm like, I don't want to commit to anything just yet, because I want to make sure I run that over. The main phase 2 duality, get some more options before I go back face down. I get that mind crush like a Bezos. Set. So I'm thinking, well, he can't possibly have another um, Lionheart play. So I will go ahead and get the downer position in attack mode, make him an easy target, take a little bit of damage, and then Alucard gives two fucks how he's sent to the graveyard. Take a little bit more damage. I forget that Trag is 36 now. So now I got options, but I don't want to push yet, because I feel like if I Caius these skill prisoners, pitches a dead Chaos Sorcerer, and now he has my Caius, Trag, and a live BLS or some such, and I just didn't want to give him that. So with Alucard in the grave, I can finally set my call the way I want to. Get Jiangxi's effect. Get Spectre. Drop Spectre. Draw a Yu-Gi-Oh card. He sets a card. Draw for my turn. So many cards in hand. Another Mary. And something I didn't also realize is that Serio Zacchaeus, and I'm thinking he's gonna skill prisoner this, so I'm gonna lose. But I'm thinking this, I'm like, nice. So I'm thinking, okay, he probably has Blackluster Soldier or something in hand that he wants to save that skill prisoner for. So I'm like, I don't need to marry, call the Haunted. I'm like, chain. I'm like, I was gonna say Alucard, but I'm like, oh my god, that's right, he hits my Divine Wrath. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to discard it anyway. So I'm like, Dark Dust Spirit. After he draws, because I want to see everything in his hand. I thought about calling a Chaos Monster. I'm like, nah, it's not even worth it. And I see his hand. His hand is like really good against my deck. All the battle stoppers at 6,000 life points. So I'm just like, poo. Gets the Kinkaboo. So like, I know what's coming. He's gonna ram, drop Trag, ram, and just sit on Trag's fat ass again. So I'll take the 600. And this is when the grinding comes. So I'll drop Dark Creator. I know he can't stop me. He has no Veilers, no Crows. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get a Piercing in. Because because I gotta get him low. And downer magician has that piercing, and he goes, ouch. I set, and I'm right here. I'm just setting up. I'm like, I have a Caius in hand. I have a game shot, and he goes, wherefore out there. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get another kick and do that giant rat or that Lionheart shit, and I'm just like, bluff. Runs over my Dark Creator. I knew that was coming, but I wanted to get that piercing in. So here I'm thinking Dullahan, but nope, couldn't be that lucky. Makes that bitch is hard to get around. Go over my options. I have a few plays to make. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna clear his Trag with Acid Golem. I went ahead and flipped that up because I didn't want to forget anything, because I want to get to my swaps or anything. I just wanted to deck thin. Kill those both off. Main phase 2. Defense back down. I didn't want him to have that damn Lionheart play. That shit is annoying. Draw some cards. Gets another Eritama. It's like now I know like all the cards in his hand. Draw the tour guide again, and I don't play the tour guide here because I'm thinking, you know, he has 12 cards left in deck. He's gonna deck out before I do. You know, if he does his Piper thing, you know, whatever, I want to make sure that I don't deck out. So I'm looking at my hand again. I'm just like, no effect. I want to get rid of that back row. I was happy as hell it was Book of Moon, because I hate that Lionheart, man, and I don't want to lose that shit again. It's shitty cards. I don't like it. And here's a BLS. See, I knew he had a Chaos. I knew, well, he topped it because I mind crushed him earlier, and he didn't have it. So I'm like, okay, I got the Yu-Gi-Ohs now. I do some maths. I try to calculate exactly what he had left in his hand, and I remember it was Gores and Jack Frost, a Nikitama, a Nikitama, and something else. But I knew he only had 2 battle stoppers, so I'll go ahead and blast the field. You guys saw I was holding that dark hole for the longest time. And then I go ham crazy, and here I'm glad I saved the tour guide, because this allows me to push. And it's one of my favorite plays of the deck. Late game, when you grind it through all your opponent's defenses, you just go creator, whatever, and you put so much damage on the board. So I go Filgran, so I can say screw off the Jack Frost, and then summon Guide. So now he can't book my dude with Jack Frost. But so yeah, I try to put enough damage on board so that I can swing through Gores. He's at 2400 even. So even if he does Jack Frost, even if he does Jack Frost, I can still run it over and then just punch through it, and he realizes that he doesn't even drop it. He just scoops right away after I attack. So yeah, this was a really long match. This was recorded at double speed. Yeah. Oh, he had another Chaos Sorcerer. That was the other card in his hand. So I'll go ahead and reveal my hand. But yeah, I hope you guys really like this. I had a lot of fun playing. Thumbs up this video if you want to see more. WK Dad, and I'm out.